Hello everyone, I'm Sonal Dabral and welcome to the second episode of Streaming with Sonal Dabral, a weekly show on creativity, advertising and marketing and beyond. My guests today are music duo Salim Suleiman, known for their hits for films like Kaal, Kurban and Chak De India. And of course, IPL. Hi Salim, hi Suleiman, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much.
You know, it's so good to see friends who you've known for such a long time as we've known each other. और दूसरी बात, it's always good to see brothers की जोड़ी. But when it's creative brothers की जोड़ी, वो तो आहा माशाल्लाह चार चांद लग जाते हैं. Do you remember the first time we met?
Of course.
Let me recount the story for the audience's benefit. So I'd written this very anthemic, very like a rara song for this big brand conference. And I'd imagined it to sound like this big choral Western symphony. But the problem was, I had written Shuddh Hindi words to it. Hindi words on a Western symphony. Had no clue what I was getting into. Thankfully, you guys did such a marvelous job on it, and I think Shan sang it. The song was much loved, conference was a big hit, so thank you very much for that. And I think you had told me one more story. There was something else that happened that day.
We met one director who came to us. So he was editing his film in the next cabin, and our engineer was playing the music so loudly that he could hear it. So we just bumped into each other when we were entering back to the studio after lunch, and he said, "You know what? I love what I'm listening to." We invited him inside. We said, "Come in and listen to it," and he loved it. And he said, "KR, I'm working on my feature film, and it requires this kind of a soundtrack, very orchestral, very gothic, and very choir. You guys would be perfect because the kind of sound I'm hearing. This is exactly the sound I need." I was like, "Sure." He said, "My name is Sanjay Gupta." So that was the famous Sanjay Gupta, and he was making Hamesha with Saif Ali Khan and Kajol. Yeah, the rest is history. That was one of our first big background score films that also got nominated for a Filmfare. Pretty memorable because Sanjay Gupta, we just recently worked with Sanjay Gupta 3 years ago on a movie called Kabil.
Okay, my first question. Both of you come from a family that is steeped in music. Your dad had an orchestra, and I've read and heard in interviews that he could play a multitude of instruments from clarinet to accordion to many other instruments. But you know what happens? There are times when children don't necessarily follow the path that has been shown to them by their parents or their family. How did you get into this profession? When did you decide to become musicians?
For us, we were always told that you should follow your dream because my dad did. My dad was a composer, worked in the music industry, and he did what he wanted to do. So he followed his dream and he was very, very happy. And so he always encouraged us to follow our own dream. And for us, that was the most important thing.
It was a very natural thing. Yeah, when we were born, we had musical instruments as our toys. We didn't have like real toys. When we grew up a little bit, we both started learning music. I started learning piano. Suleiman started learning drums. Like I was doing melody, he was doing rhythm, and and that's how we started sort of developing our individual talents. We were very inspired because we were watching the orchestra. We were learning so much from them. We used to go for practice at nights after a school homework and all that, just before we slept. And we would just wish that one day we would play for this orchestra with our father, which happened a few years later. So we were really fortunate that we grew up with with an incredible musical background, with our father being our first idol.
Because we had the aspiration and he was our inspiration, this is what we are today.
That's a beautiful story. Now, since we remembered the first time we met in that studio, from then till now, music industry, like any other industry, has gone through tremendous changes, primarily driven by technology. The two of you, since you started so long back and since you were so young then, would have experienced this change firsthand. How was this journey? What are the changes you saw? And along the way, Salim, you picked up singing also. You became a singer. How did that happen?
When we started off, there was all live. There used to be live violins, live brass players, and live percussionist and instrumentalist. And we would record for a film background score. We would be seeing the film, and under a composer as musicians, there were notations written and there were changeovers, and we would be playing with a live orchestra. So fortunately, Suleiman and me have seen that, but we were on the cusp of that live turning into programming, electronic music and digital music. From there onwards, we started programming for so many composers, so many music directors. From there onwards, doing movies like Chak De India, Aaja Nachle, Band Baja Barat, Fashion, Kurban, all these movies. And then I remember we were working on a movie called Kurban. We were making a song. We made a song called Ali Maula, which we had composed like a devotional song, and Karan heard it and he really loved it. Because I had sung the song, he told me that you should sing that song. And Sulaiman also pushed me. He said, your voice sounds very apt for this song. Although I had a very big classical singer in my mind, I got a little bit of a push from Karan and Sulaiman, and that was my first song, Ali Maula, from the movie Kurban. It was appreciated a lot, and so I got that confidence to sing more. But every time when I sang for a movie, I was always on the back foot. Yeah. Like for Evi Evi and Band Baja Barat, we wanted Daler Mehndi, but Daler Mehndi was too big a singer. A voice, very big voice for a Ranveer Singh. It was Ranveer Singh's first film. We got a singer called Master Salim, but his voice was too folksy, very folky for Ranveer Singh. It was his first film. So then everybody said, why don't you give it a shot? And then finally the voice that went for Evi Evi Lodiya was my voice. It was very matter of fact that I turned into a singer.
I really believe in the power of moments, how in a single moment lie a million possibilities, and how one chance happening leads to so many different life-changing moments. Maybe everything is predestined. Who knows?
Well, honestly, I didn't expect that, because both Sulaiman and me had expected a big, that kind of a big voice. They wanted a, they wanted a cooler voice and a younger voice. And because I'd sung the scratch, as we had composed it, it just went off well.
And now let's talk about the sports anthem of India, which is Chak De India. Anytime and every time, whenever we want to root for India, whether it's hockey, soccer, cricket, Chak De India has to come to our lips. Now, I come from advertising. I understand the power of slogans and phrases. What I really like about this song is that because of the power of the song, the phrase Chak De India itself has become so popular. Tell us more about the song. How did you conceive it? Was it easy or was it painful?
When we read the film, when we read the script, it was just amazing. It had a very powerful sense of belonging to our country. And it almost made me cry. There was that sense that we have to keep this film very somber. We have to keep it very aspirational, deep-rooted values for the country. So when we started the song, we made a very beautiful song, touching and emotional. When we played it to the producer, he said, "Nee, I don't want something like this. This is a powerful song, but I want a song that makes people go crazy." I didn't believe that was something we should be doing. He said, "Chalo, this is what the producer and the director wanted." Then we made a song which was a very massy commercial song, which we only didn't like. And so we made a lot of versions. We made about 5 or 6 or 7 different versions, and nothing was working. It came to a point where Salim told me, listen, I'm going to give it one more try and then just let it be. We'll let this film go, because maybe our sensibilities and the director's sensibilities are not matching. And I don't want to be in a position where somebody comes to me and says, "Bas yaar, I can't take one more rejection. Kaam karte hain. Don't do this. Let's work on another song. Let's get Jaideep, who was the writer of the film, to come and write some words for us, some lyrics which would inspire us to go in the right direction." So he wrote, "Kuch kariye, nas nas meri khole, kuch kariye.
Kuch kariye, nas nas meri khole, hai kuch kariye." वहां से ऐसा लगा कि कुछ इस चीज में कुछ बात है.
So that sounded, it's got that powerful emotion. So it had everything. And then he said, "Ye to chal zid fadiye, doobe tariye, ya mariye, chak de India."
All the line was written beautifully. Kuch kariye, nas nas meri khole, kuch kariye. And Jaideep had given me an example that when Nike was supposed to come to India, Jaideep was working in an agency, and I'm telling you this because you're an advertising person. So I think Nike wanted some kind of, some kind of a slogan like that. So Jaideep had done that Nike sign and written Chak De. उसको वो thought है कि कुछ करिए, because Chak De means let's do it. So he wrote that line, कुछ करिए, नस नस मेरी खोले, कुछ करिए. Beautiful line.
And then I started making a groove which had a little more Indianness and a lot of celebration, a lot of power, and all of that then started coming together.
कुछ करिए, मैंने उसको बोला ये कुछ करिए, repeat करते. कुछ करिए, बस बड़ा बोले, अब कुछ करिए. तो बात बन रही थी. कोई तो चल जिद बढ़िए, डूबे तरिए, मरिए, हाँ कोई तो चल जिद बढ़िए, डूबे तरिए, मरिए, चक दे इंडिया, चक दे इंडिया. After we finished just singing this line, I immediately said, like, we must get Sukhwinder to sing it. Like Sulaiman said, yes, perfect. Let's get Sukhwinder. Jaideep said, let's get Sukhwinder. बोला चल पहले गाना तो बना लेते, अंतरा तो कर लेते, कूचों में गलियों में, राशन की पलियों में, बैलों में बीचों में बड़काती. बहुत अच्छे लफ्ज लिखे.
And one other thing I love about this song is its thumping beat. The whole vibe, the dhols and the nagaras. It's so energetic.
It is देश का गाना, देश के लिए, and by the country, for the country. हमारे देश में, whenever you do a celebration, you have to have an Indian groove, you have to have dhol, you have to have the full shebang, rhythm. We understand the big drums and the big dhols coming in. जहाँ चक दे आ रहा है, वहाँ पे ढोल आएगा ही आएगा. It was just very understood.
कुछ करिए, नस नस मेरी खोले, कुछ करिए, बस बड़ा बोले, अब कुछ करिए, आए कोई तो चल जिद बढ़िए, धूप तरिए यो मरिए, होए कोई तो चल जिद बढ़िए, धूप तरिए यो मरिए.
One thing gets proven over and over again, that great work doesn't come easy. Behind each of these hits are stories of hard work, pain and angst that no one gets to see. Like what you guys went through with Chak De India. But the good thing is, all that pain is worth it when the result is such a beautiful song or a creation. Now both of you obviously like the energy of performing live. You're both famous for your live shows, especially with the younger generation that just loves the energy and the passion that you bring to them. What attracts you to performing live, that you perform them so much and so well? Which was your first stage show and any special memories of that? Did you get butterflies? Did you get nerves?
Music is about people, and when people's energies come together, it's incredible. I mean, both Sulaiman and me are best examples. Like, I think we are who we are because we are two. And when two become four and four become eight and eight become 12, the magic multiplies. But it's not about just 8 and 12. It's about those 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people that, are with you in sync. They are one with you. When we sing we sing Ali Maula, they are crying with us. They are feeling the devotion and the dedication. We bring the Tiranga and we bring the national flag out for Chak De. They are screaming their hearts out. and feel patriotic and feel Indian once again. Or when we sing Shukran Allah, their faces light up with a smile. So it's a brilliant feeling, Sonal. I cannot explain it to you.
Shukran Allah walhamdulillah, Shukran Allah walhamdulillah, Shukran Allah walhamdulillah. नजरों से नजर मिली तो जन्नत सी महकी फिजाएं, लब ने जो लब छू लिया तो आसमां से बरसी दुआएं। ऐसी अपनी मोहब्बत, ऐसी रूह इबादत, हम भी मेहरबान दो जहां। शुक्रान अल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, शुक्रान अल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, शुक्रान अल्लाह वल्हम्दुलिल्लाह।
One is incomplete without the other. You don't make great songs in the studio, you'll never be able to perform them live and never get that love and admiration from your fans. So both are equally important, pretty magical. It all started in 2010, exactly 10 years ago. It was No Tobacco Day, May 31st. CPA, which is a Cancer Patients Association, called us and said, we would like a Salim Sulaiman concert. It's a free concert. But something said that we should just give it a shot and do this for a charity show and, raise some money and all that. Show opens, it's completely packed. In fact, overbooked. There were more than 1,000 people that showed up at that show. The show was fantastic. And we could not believe that it went off so well. That really gave us the confidence. There was so much of a buzz. And we had done a song in 2010. We did a song for Africa. Like Africa, You're the Star, it was called. And it's about Africa. Been through so much of pain, been through so many troubles, but yet you're shining like a bright star in the sky. And somehow this song got heard by FIFA. And FIFA loved that song and they made this one of their official anthems. So much so that the singer who sang this song, Loiso Bala, he got a slot at the FIFA World Cup opening ceremony. And he called me and Sulaiman and he said, buddy, you guys have to come and perform with us. We have a slot right just before Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, Sulaiman and me, fly to Johannesburg and we are performing in 2010. Our second show was for FIFA World Cup. It's as big as it can get. Johannesburg. Right before Black Eyed Peas, Salim Sulaiman performing. वहाँ से वो नशा चढ़ गया कि अब इसके बाद तो हमको concerts करने हैं. We gotta go live.
Because of what the world is going through right now and precautions had to be taken, but there are so many things that we missed out on this year. One of them is the Indian Premier League, IPL. And when I think of IPL, I think of both of you every time. You've had such a long relationship with IPL, scoring so many of IPL's anthem, almost 8 or 9 or 10 in a row. ये 10 साल आपके नाम. Well, I had the pleasure of working on 3 of them with you. The one that is my favorite and the one that turned out to be such a memorable one, and that was India Ka Tyohar.
When you wrote those lines, India Ka Tyohar, it was pretty easy for us. हमारे हिंदुस्तान में एक त्योहार का एक बीट है. चाहे वो नवरात्रि हो, चाहे वो गणेशा हो, चाहे वो दुर्गा पूजा हो, या चाहे वो पोंगल हो. जो एक सेलिब्रेशन का रिदम होता है ना, ये कई त्योहार में बचता है. अब आपने इंडिया का त्योहार ये लाइन जब लिखी, हमारा काम काफी आसान हो गया. आई सेड कि यार इसको 6/8 में बनाते. ये रिदम को हम 6/8 कहते हैं म्यूजिकल टर्म में. ये रिदम तो सेट हो गया. आपने ये लाइन कही थी, इंडिया का त्योहार.
रोशनी रंग है, हर नजर दंग है, जश्न जोश है, खो रहा होश है, सब पे चढ़ा है बुखार, यह है इंडिया का त्योहार.
इंडिया का त्योहार, ये है इंडिया का त्योहार, ये है कुछ चीजें ना मतलब हर वर्ड्स में ही उसकी मेलोडी होती है. रिदम, ये पल्स, ये जो लय है ना वो पकड़नी पड़ती है.
And you guys had packed in so much of energy into the song. I mean, it was literally loaded with various instruments and effects.
You know, because you see so many vocal things happening in the stadium, people singing oh yeah, ah yeah, all these things for IPL, and that वो trumpet भी आ गई थी. A lot of amazing things which which happened and of course whenever we make songs, चाहे वो एक India happy वाला, even that was a fun song.
That was also lovely. Soothing and actually quite surprising for IPL.
हो प्यार वाला मुस्कान वाला हो एक इंडिया हैप्पी वाला.
And so did ये 10 साल आपके नाम. That was also fun.
Clients from Sony, Neeraj and Vishali, they were great. I think it was a great teamwork too that ultimately resulted in so many memorable IPL anthems.
How did you think about the concept India ka Tyohar? Okay, we have Eid, we have Diwali, we have all these celebrations. But the fact that you actually thought about IPL as India ka Tyohar, what was going on in your head?
Now, good advertising is always based on good insights. Now, these truths and insights are all around us, but sometimes it becomes very difficult to grab them. But sometimes we get lucky when we are really thinking hard. That's what happened in the case of Ye Hai India Ka Tyohar. The fact is that in India, besides all the religions that we have, there are two more religions: Bollywood and cricket. Now, what's happening currently in the world, unfortunately, is that the religions that are supposed to unite humanity are actually dividing it. But cricket is a religion that unites people. You might be from the north, south, east, or west, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, or Buddhist. Everybody, for the love of the game, for the love of cricket, gets united. And in that 1 month of IPL, with all the carnival like atmosphere, the energy, the colors, the really good cricket that you get to see, everyone comes together. Whatever might be your religion, whatever might be your team, this religion brings us together. दूरियां छोड़ के देखो दिल जोड़ के, थोड़ी तकरार है फिर भी तू यार है, इसमें है दिलों का प्यार, ये है इंडिया का त्योहार.
Actually made life very easy for us by bringing all these colors in. All we had to do, we didn't have to imagine what was going to happen. We just had to hear you. And it was such a big source of inspiration कि गाना तो automatically बन जाता है यार.
वैसे हम दोनों एक दूसरे की तारीफ तो बहुत कर रहे हैं, but words are important. But you know, full पैसा वसूल happens when you get the phrasing and the composition like ये है इंडिया का त्योहार, ये है इंडिया का त्योहार. I believe you're working on an album after a long time. Could you tell us a bit about it? What's the theme, etc.? Any stories around that?
Exactly 20 years back, we did an album called Bhumi. It was songs from all over India, folk songs from all over India, beautiful compositions, which we took from these various regions. And so 20 years later, we actually found the time and we started, 2019 is when we started working on this project. It's beautiful, it's 7 songs, 7 being the beautiful magical number, 7 colors in a rainbow, 7 seas, 7 Saat Shingar. Just as we were getting into the mix is when this whole COVID thing happened. And we stopped and we moved to our individual houses and actually mixed the entire album through the internet, via the internet. So our engineer was sitting in his house, we were sitting in our own houses in crystal clear quality. And so we did all of that and we are now waiting. It's got some fabulous singers. It's got some fabulous songs. We are now waiting. We want to wait till it's a good time to actually release the album. And it's all about our earth, right? Our earth is asking for relief. And when we were not giving it to it, it's forcefully taken it from us.
You know, one song that's one of my all-time favorites and gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. It's a blockbuster hit, loved across the world. Ye hausla kaise jhuke, ye arzu kaise ruke. I mean, it's such an inspiring song for any time you're feeling low or down. Even for times like the ones we are going through right now. It's such an inspirational, such a moving composition. Tell us the story behind this song. And if you were to deconstruct it line by line, your inspiration behind the song, any anecdotes related to the song?
So we were working on a movie called Door. we had this very important situation where Gul Panag, one of the characters, finds out that her husband is in trouble. He is wrongly accused for a murder of another man, and according to Sharia law, the only way he can get pardoned is if the person who's deceased, his wife, pardons him. ये situation में Gul Panag sets out a journey to find out who this lady is, and she lives in Rajasthan. Gul Panag lives in Kashmir. So that journey from Kashmir to Rajasthan, a very somber situation. So we came up with a song. एक तरफ तेरी धड़कन थी, सांसें है तेरी दूजी ओ, मौला मेरे टूटे ना ये डोर. Rough lyrics, right? एक तरफ तेरी धड़कन थी, सांसें है तेरी दूजी ओ, मौला मेरे टूटे ना ये डोर, मौला मेरे टूटे ना ये डोर. We composed this song. Nagesh didn't like this song at all. He said ये गाना बहुत ही sad है. I want a hopeful song, and a very positive song, because there is hope. I want something happier, and also it should have a travel feel. So we started. The original lyrics was रोकेगा तार, रोके हवा, रोके ज़मीन या आसमां. गाना तो अच्छा लगा, but lyrics बहुत ही average थे. We got Mir Ali Hussain obviously to write the real lyrics, which was, and then he wrote like ये सर हौसलों से, ये सर हौसलों से कैसे झुके, ये दिल आरज़ू से कैसे रुके, मंजिल मुश्किल तो क्या. अगर ये तो अच्छा है, मंजिल मुश्किल तो क्या, धुंधला साहिल तो क्या, बट ये सर हौसलों से क्या होता है? Can't we just make it ये हौसला कैसे झुके, that was really something that just happened very naturally. We removed sar and we removed dil, so it became ये हौसला कैसे झुके, ये आरज़ू कैसे रुके, मंजिल मुश्किल तो क्या, धुंधला साहिल. राह पे कांटे बिखरे अगर, उस पे तो फिर भी चलना ही है. शाम छुपा ले सूरज मगर, रात को एक दिन ढलना ही है. रुत ये ढल जाएगी, हिम्मत रंग लाएगी, सुबह फिर आएगी. दोना तेरे नाना तेरे नाना, दोना तेरे नाना तेरे. ये हौसला कैसे झुके, ये आरज़ू कैसे रुके, मंजिल मुश्किल तो क्या, धुंधला साहिल तो क्या, तन्हा ये दिल तो क्या. दोना तेरे नाना तेरे नाना, दोना तेरे नाना तेरे, दोना तेरे नाना तेरे नाना, दोना तेरे नाना तेरे.
The only thing I can say after hearing this song is, God bless you both. What do you think? How will COVID affect the music industry? Both of you have been digitally very savvy, riding the technology wave as we discussed. What are your plans? How How are you transforming yourself?
It's business as usual for us. We are still making music. As is tradition, we released a song for Eid, which we made at home. Salim, me, Raj Pandit, and we got everybody to sing their songs and send it to us. Like this song, Manzil Mushkil To Kya, Dhundla Sahil To Kya. When there's a will, there's always a way. We didn't think we would be able to shoot a video, but we shot. Life continues. If you think that you're going to not do something and sit at home, then that's the wrong attitude to have. Your attitude should always be that how much more can I do from what I did yesterday? Of course, we know that concerts will not happen, but we are trying to do concerts as well. We are trying to do live concerts online if we can. Mother Nature, and there's always us who's trying to redefine our lives with all these various things around us.
You have also started the Zaria Foundation to help the folk artists of Rajasthan. These are the artists you had worked with extensively. And there was also this fascinating story of Sattar Khan. Could you tell us more about Zaria Foundation and also about this Sattar Khan story and how it all started?
We were in Udaipur, and I think it was one of our band members' birthdays. The Prince of Udaipur, His Highness Lakshraj Singh Mewar, happens to be a dear friend. And so he invited us home and he said, "Yaar, khana khate hain saath mein." And he had these musicians driven down almost 12 hours from Barmer to perform for us. And when we saw them, suddenly Salim said, "Yaar, this voice sounds very familiar." He happened to be the same guy.
Sattar Khan, who actually originally I met Indian Idol judge in 2010.
6-7 years later, he had become a big man with his turban and mustache and all of that. Immediately at that point, we decided that next time hum log tour pe jayenge, we should take these guys
On a tour with Salim Sulaiman live, and we toured with them.
And so that's how it started. And we've actually toured now pretty much all over the world. Moscow, Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, you name it. We've done all those countries.
Finished the tour, we realized that we had created opportunities for these amazing musicians, but those opportunities were not enough, and we had to support them for their livelihood. They're coming from a very, very, very humble background. I mean, in fact, very poor conditions in villages in like Barmer and Jaisalmer in Rajasthan. We formed Zaria, which is a foundation which supported these folk musicians. And now in COVID time, things are really, really bad because tourism is zero, hospitality business is zero. A really rough time surviving. Through our social media, we could help them create an awareness program for our friends, our fans, come together as one family and donate on Keto for a fundraiser we've just started for them, hoping that we can collect a decent amount of money, be able to take care of them for the next 3 or 4 months, because these are going to be very difficult for them for the months to come.
Thanks a lot, Salim. Thanks a lot, Sulaiman. Thank you for being on the show today. Thank you for all the wonderful stories. May you both keep spreading joy with your talent and wonderful music. Thank you very much, both.
Thank you, Sonal. Thank you for everything, and thank you for having us here.
Hope you all enjoyed my chat with Salim and Sulaiman as much as I enjoyed it. If you would like to contribute to Zaria Foundation, the link is in the description box below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your thoughts and comments. See you next time. This is Sonal Dabral signing off.